I don't think we've ever seen a promo like we've just got today from Qantas. Qantas have just announced that they are discounting some classic reward flights by 25%, and in today's video I'm going to go in depth, tell you exactly what's happening, what flights they are, when you need a book by, how much value we are going to unlock when we use our Qantas points on these discounted classic reward flights. And by the end of today's video, you're going to be crystal clear. You'll know exactly if today's deal is worth taking up or if you should sit patiently because it's not that great of a deal. Now, before I get into it, if these videos are helpful to you, I would appreciate a thumbs up. If you also left a comment letting me know, and if you've subscribed to the channel, that helps me out a lot. Now, with that out of the way, let's get straight into today's video. So this is the latest promo that has just dropped from Qantas Classic Reward offer. Enjoy 25% off economy and premium economy classic reward flights to Paris, Santiago, Solomon Islands and Vanuatu when you book by the 6th of December. Plus, you'll find extra availability in business class to Paris and Santiago, which I'll also be discussing in this video. Now, a couple things to note, pretty short time frame that we have. At time of recording this video, it's the 2nd of December. By the time it comes out, it's probably going to be the 3rd of December, meaning you have very limited time to act on these sort of offers if you do want to take them up. The other thing to note is this is only for 4 different destinations: Paris, Santiago, Solomon Islands, and Vanuatu. The third thing that is kind of a big deal, particularly for this channel, is that these are only for economy and premium economy flights. On this channel, I mostly talk about business and first class flights because in my experience, they provide the best value for your Qantas points. This channel is all about helping you maximize your Qantas points for the highest value, and I just often don't find that with economy and premium economy flights. But these flights have been discounted today, so we're going to run through the maths, figure out exactly how much value we're going to be getting when we use our points on these sort of redemptions. So now that we're crystal clear on what the offer is, when we have to act by, and which destinations this applies to, there is something that we have to address first, and that is actually how much does it cost us to earn our Qantas points, because in a second I'm going to be talking about what sort of value we're going to be getting when we use our Qantas points on these redemptions. But to figure out if it's a good deal or not, we need to understand how much it's costing us to earn those points in the first place, so we can figure out if we're getting a multiple or if we're losing money when we redeem our points on these redemptions. To help us figure this out, I want to bring up 2 things. The first thing is that Qantas today have also announced that they're doing a 60% bonus point offer when you top up your Qantas points, essentially meaning when you buy Qantas points directly from Qantas, they're going to give you 60% more Qantas points from the points that you purchase. This means if you purchase 100,000 points, you're going to get 160,000 points. Now, I have made a separate video on this exact topic, but to summarize this whole thing, to give us some figures that we can work towards for the rest of this video, if you were to purchase over 100,000 points during this sort of promo, it will cost you 1.7 cents to earn 1 Qantas point during these promos. Now, I'm not sure how you earn your Qantas points. If you buy them, we now have a figure that we can aim towards. If you use a credit card and you use apps like Snip or pay.com.au, where you pay a surcharge in order to earn points when you usually wouldn't have. For example, maybe you use your credit card to pay your rent or a big tax bill, and you pay a surcharge in order to use that credit card, you might be paying about 2%. Now, depending on what type of credit card you have, this might mean that you're going to earn 1 Qantas point for about 2 cents. As a general rule of thumb, it would indicate that we are earning Qantas points if we're going to buy them or use a credit card and pay a surcharge at roughly around 2 cents per point. Let's use this as a rule of thumb so we can figure out the value that we're going to unlock on these destinations. For this example, I'm just going to use that as a rule of thumb. Maybe you're earning points at a lot cheaper. Maybe you're churning through credit cards and you're earning them for just a couple of $100. But to play it safe for most business owners or for people who are buying these points, let's say to earn 1 Qantas point, it's going to cost us 2 cents to do it. Moving on now to the first destination that is in this promo, and that is going to be Perth to Paris. Now, we know from that promo that only the economy and the premium economy flights are the flights that are discounted by 25%. The business class flights down here are not discounted. Now, I've done the maths ahead of time to make this video much more time efficient. When we redeem our Qantas points on these classic reward economy rates that are discounted, we are going to unlock 2.19 cents worth of value for every point that we redeem. It will be a little better with premium economy, 3 cents per Qantas point that we redeem. But like I thought, we are going to get the most value for every Qantas point that we redeem when we redeem them on these long-haul international business class flights. For this example, Sydney to Paris, even though these classic reward fares have not been discounted, you're going to get much better value per point that you redeem. You're going to get 5 cents worth of value, and these flights haven't even been discounted. Now, if you are earning points during this points promo that is happening where you can get 60% bonus points, we know that we're going to earn 1 Qantas point for about 1.7 cents. And when we factor in this value, you're still getting more value compared to what it's costing you to earn those points. But you are going to get a multiple of value when you redeem them on these business class flights. The only catch is there are plenty of economy and premium economy classic reward flights from Perth to Paris for multiple different dates through February and March, and there are slightly less available between February and March for these business class flights from Sydney and Perth to Paris. Now, to figure out how I actually arrived at these numbers, all you have to do is take the normal cash price that you would typically pay. To make the numbers realistic, always use the lowest price that you can ever find. Then subtract the cash taxes that you're going to pay in addition to when you use points, and then divide that net amount by the amount of points required, and that will spit out amount usually about 0.0219. That would indicate it's about 2 cents worth of value for each point. That is how you go about finding the value that you're going to unlock for these flights. Go out there, do your own numbers on the flights that you are after. But let's move on to the next example. That is going to be Sydney to Santiago. Now, we know from the promo that the discounted classic reward fares are the economy and the premium economy flights, not the business class flights. They will stay normal price. When we use our points on these economy flights, we're going to unlock 4 cents worth of value, 4.2 cents worth of value for every point that we redeem on the premium economy flights, and 4 cents worth of value on the business class flights. The value on this particular destination is pretty similar. It doesn't matter which travel class you're in. And if we refer back to our rule of thumb on how much it's costing us to earn those Qantas points, we are getting a multiple, which indicates that we're getting pretty good value when we use our points on these flights. Now, you're going to find all these economy, premium economy, and business class classic reward flights some stage scattered throughout the months of May, June, and July. This particular destination, Sydney to Santiago and back home, these sort of reward seats are very hard to find. These sort of big releases only happen a couple of times every year. Moving on to the next destination is going to be to Vanuatu. Now, it doesn't matter if you're in economy or business class on this flight, because it is so short, you're still getting pretty average value per point that you redeem. For economy, it's going to be even less than this, but for business class flights, you're getting about 2.6 cents worth of value. Compared to those other flights we have talked about, I probably wouldn't use my points on this particular route. And finally, the last destination that gets this 25% off classic reward fare is going to be Brisbane to Solomon Islands. Now, you can see here down the bottom, 1.8 cents worth of value for each point that you redeem. This is among some of the lowest value that we're getting, that we've talked about so far. Because we're getting such low value for our Qantas points, I personally would not be using my points on these sort of destinations. Now, if you do want to book any of these flights we've talked about today, you can use the Qantas Frequent Flyer website. But often, a lot of people come to me and they say the Qantas Frequent Flyer website constantly crashes and it's very difficult to use. If that's the case for you, you're frustrated and you want to just have the best way of searching the Qantas website, for this particular example, I would use a site called Seats.aero. Seats.aero allows you to search economy, premium economy, and business class reward availability through the Qantas Frequent Flyer program. You can also do that for lots of other different airlines as well. So if you have Amex points, it's great. Now, I usually recommend Gyoza flights because they show seat availability as well. But for this particular example, because we were talking about some economy flights, Seats.aero will be more suitable for that. In all honesty, Seats.aero and Gyoza flights are both websites that I use every single day. They are both worth it if you are going to constantly be using your points to travel around the world. If you want to sign up to them, check out my links in the video description. I hope today's video was helpful. If you want more help, check out the link to my Patreon group. I've also got a brand new flight booking service in there as well if you do need any more help. I'd love to see you in my Patreon group. I hope today's video was helpful, and other than that, I'll see you in the next one.